Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And mark this day on your calendar. The mainstream media is actually agreeing with us for a change.
You know, YouTubers like us said it first.
Yeah, we said it first. We're going to talk about how The Wrap put this article out, saying that Disney can't rely on Star Wars and Marvel long term, that they're running out of steam. You wouldn't know it from their upfront. We're going to talk about the upfront and how they're trying to give it to advertisers from behind. And then we're going to talk about some things that Kathleen Kennedy has said about the future of Star Wars. I don't think they have a plan. I don't think the plan's very good. If there is a plan, I don't think they know what the hell they're doing.
Well, before we do the other stuff, let's talk about the Upfront real quick because people know what it is in case they didn't see our other videos explaining it. An Upfront is the event they do where the streaming platforms and studios get together and get the advertisers in a room.
Get them juicy.
Yeah, and they show them, basically. And they show them, sizzle reels of different things coming out to get them to give them money to run advertisements on their services. So, and Disney, as they've told you, are going to switch to having these people pay them, a paid tier. So they want the advertiser money. So that's why they're having all these announcements and stuff coming out.
Yeah, so it's to get the advertisers all wet for all this Star Wars Marvel content.
That's why that Vanity Fair article, which we're going to talk about off and on, came out. Look, at the same time. It's not coincidental.
Yeah, so let's talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 267,000 subs. Thank you for the support. We do talk a lot about Disney, having worked in and around the company for a number of years. Geeky runs piratesandprincesses.net.
I do.
And we have been following the Disney Plus drama that Disney has been banking on Disney Plus, and there's concern that Disney Plus is going to run out of steam as Netflix is kind of running out of steam, and they are going to an ad-supported tier. They're adding an ad-supported tier this fall, I guess, November.
It's later this year than into next year, depending on the area.
And they already have Hulu, and Hulu's cluttered with ads, lots of ads in Hulu.
Even you pause screen, there's an ad.
But it's really interesting because this Variety article where they talk about the upfront, right?
Yeah, I love the very first sentence. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
The media is turning on Disney. The very first sentence. Attendees at the Disney upfront could have played a drinking game by taking a sip every time someone referred to the company as unrivaled.
Yep. See, it's not just us.
Unrivaled.
It's not just us.
Quipped late night host Jimmy Kimmel remotely due to a positive COVID test. I thought he was double vaxxed and boosted.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Reprising his annual upfront roast to highlight of the week, we are unrivaled, which, I don't know, maybe they misspelled unraveled.
Everybody is calling out Disney at this point.
Yeah, and now he works for ABC, so he's kind of like, yeah, we're unraveled. Yeah, a lot of people are. So let's talk about this first, and then we'll talk about this Kathleen Kennedy puff piece that came out.
Well, it's not just about her. There's a lot of things going on in it, but she's one of the people I talk to.
The utter state of Star Wars, basically. And there are several articles. I love it. They do like an interview or they do a feature in one publication, and then like 50,000 other blogs take bits and pieces of it and make their own headlines.
I do that too somewhat on Pirates and Princesses, but only because I pick out the parts that I talk about. No, there have a lot of things. Well, yeah, but they have a lot of things in there. They interviewed tons of people in that article. It wasn't just Kathleen Kennedy. It was like, they had Dave Filoni in there, and they had Leslie Headland, and they had, Favreau, I think, was in there, and that Deborah Chow, and they interviewed like a bunch of different people.
It was basically, we don't have a plan, but we're trying to convince advertisers
that we do.
The public that we have a plan.
Look, no, what the whole article is look, razzle dazzle, here's all the shows coming out.
Razzle dazzle. Well, that's what they did before. They threw out like a shit ton of logos for Star Wars shows, Marvel shows, and we're like, okay, have you thought this through? Are there actually shows, or what's going on here? And I think a lot of times with Disney especially, they're like, okay, we're going to bring this movie out in 2 years. I guess we should hire somebody to write it.
Or they have people that keep leaving for creative differences.
Creative differences. Okay, Fantastic Four. That's another video we're going to do. But this is coming from Wrap, which I thought was very interesting. Disney can't rely on Marvel and Star Wars to reach their streaming subscriber goals.
No, they can't.
With a chart, and they're showing that people are dropping off on these shows. It said the data suggests that Disney's continued Marvel efforts, which are a core highlight of the Disney Plus package, may work better to retain customers than to attract new ones. Well, this is predictable At some point, every person who's into Marvel will have Disney Plus and keep paying for it. Disney will have to find other programming to keep adding 10 million new subs per quarter over the next 10 quarters to hit its growth goals. They are nowhere close to that.
No. They're still saying 2024 to they're profitable.
Yeah, and that's if they hit 9 or 10 million.
That's if they hit their goals, yes.
Per quarter. So even the Wrap is like, people are losing interest in these shows. They're dropping off. And I can tell you, like, of these shows, I finished WandaVision, 2 episodes of Falcon, 2 episodes of Loki. I did finish Hawkeye, and I dipped in and out of Moon Knight, and I don't give a shit. I feel like it was
Moon Knight was so all over the place.
It was boring.
I watched all of them except for Loki. I watched part of Loki, and then I just never finished it because I was busy. I didn't care. Mostly I didn't care.
Disney's Star Wars franchise has shown a steep drop in demand for its most recent live-action entry, The Book of Boba Fett.
Because it wasn't about Boba Fett. Boba Fett was a side character. I mean, he was in it, but it was like a lot of, do we mention this character? And they keep doing these shows. Here's all the characters we're making other shows about. And these shows become all about the other characters, the supplemental characters. It's probably going to be the same with Obi-Wan.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. I mean, there are already leaks in there saying that Obi-Wan is going to take a backseat in his own show.
Oh, it's that woman or whatever. That
Reva.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was
That's so Reva. I laughed so hard. That was so clever.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was Reba McEntire?
It's Reva.
Like, I know it's Reva, but Reba McEntire would be kind of funny.
No, she can't. She's ginger.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that said, if the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi is able to approach The Mandalorian's global demand level, Star Wars remains a growth driver for Disney Plus. What's abundantly clear is that it will become more of a case-by-case basis.
Yes.
Not every Star Wars or Marvel show is going to convince a lapsed subscriber or a new subscriber to sign up, but they both can become a powerful retention.
What people are going to do is they're going to be like, okay, there's like these 3 shows I want to see. If they don't sail the high seas, which is, I think people mostly just do that, they'll just wait until like 2 or 3 shows are out, get a subscription for like a month, watch them, and then cancel again.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, beyond that, it's like the 2 things that Disney bet on being golden geese for years to come. They've choked.
They mishandled it.
Yeah.
Going into phase 4 of the MCU, it's just all these characters no one knows or cares about. Star Wars, they just keep destroying the franchise. Then you think they're learning something with Mandalorian, and then they come back with other stuff, and it's like, what is this shit? You know? And they're just going to continue. And then now their new takeaway is let's make up new shows with new characters. And people want the old characters because, we'll get into that in a minute, but Kathleen Kennedy's like, well, we just realized people don't want, the old characters. That's not true.
Yeah, so this is so I'm really confused because getting into what Kathleen Kennedy was saying in that really long article, she said that Solo bombed because they recast Han Solo.
And that's part of it, I think, but that wasn't the main reason.
That wasn't the main reason. In fact, we did a review of Solo. We actually thought Solo was okay. It wasn't terrible. The Last Jedi is the reason Solo did as poorly as it did.
Yeah, people were boycotting it. That and the fact that I think the creative differences, people leaving, it made a film that was kind of all over the place. And Ron Howard probably did the best he could with what he was given to work with. Plus, they keep saying the KK and Lucasfilm are notoriously ridiculous about you have to follow their rules. And they even talked about that before. And it's just making it stiff. You can't create anything. It's unfun. They feel like shit, and they don't feel like Star Wars half the time.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Where does that leave that Lando show? Because they were going to do a Lando show with Donald Glover, and I actually thought he was pretty good.
I like Donald Glover.
But, where's that leave him? Or are they going to just deep fake Billy D. Williams here and there? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, she's making comments like, we need to move beyond the Skywalkers. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, because every time you try to move beyond the classic characters, it's a disaster.
Mm-hmm. We need to move beyond the Skywalkers, but let's make Rey a Skywalker because we said so.
Yeah, exactly. Why is The Mandalorian popular? The Mandalorian's popular because The Mandalorian is basically actual Boba Fett, the Boba Fett we wanted, and we've got a Baby Yoda.
And and then Boba Fett wasn't like Boba Fett at all.
No. Mando.
Shut up.
Yeah, Mando is how, as kids, we picture Boba Fett being. Mm-hmm. And that's what, so people are watching because they're like, oh, yeah, it's basically Boba Fett and a Baby Yoda. That's kind of cool.
Even was it Tamora Morrison?
Yeah.
He was even like, this is not how Boba Fett would act. I mean, he even knew that wasn't how Boba Fett would act. It was like, he's talking too much. And it wasn't wrong. You should have listened to him.
So I'm sitting here like,
we didn't watch it. We didn't finish it.
No, I didn't finish it. I watched.
I watched an episode or two, and that was it.
I watched the one episode. I didn't even watch the Luke Skywalker deepfake Luke episode.
Didn't care enough at that point.
I watched the episode that was basically an episode of The Mandalorian, and that was it.
We learned that Jaw was a furry everywhere.
Yeah, God, they could have done without that. But that, I'm like, it doesn't. There's no fucking plan. There's no plan, and it becomes clear. And they keep renewing her contract, and they're betting on Lucasfilm to basically carry the company, and Star Wars is damaged goods. Marvel is getting there. Mainstream media outlets, is not just shouty YouTubers, but mainstream media outlets are calling out that Doctor Strange should not have dropped off a cliff second week like that.
You know what? It only matters when they call it out. When all of us pointed this shit out for years, we're just haters. Now the mainstream media is calling it out, and now it's the gospel.
Rian Johnson's too busy to do Star Wars.
Sure, that's why.
I'm sure his phone's ringing off the hook. Well, he's doing Knives Out, I guess. He's doing
someone did point up a good point. They said if he was given his own trilogy that had nothing to do with the classic stuff and he could do whatever he wanted, it might not be so bad, because when he does his own thing, it's usually not terrible. It's just that they gave him established characters, and he cannot handle something like that.
They dropped him into the middle of a trilogy that wasn't planned.
Do what you want. So he did.
Yeah, and so he tied off everything and ruined characters and whatever. I mean, if they had said, hey, Ryan, could you do a Star Wars trilogy that takes place like 1,000 years before Star Wars, and it doesn't really have any major impact on...
But you had, here's the lore that's going on at the time, go.
Yeah, just make sure you don't violate these rules or whatever.
I thought that was a fair point, because it's I thought his attitude, especially towards fans, I think I would have given him more of a pass if he wasn't an asshole about it, but... I guess something like that he might do better than something like The Last Jedi, which he completely kerfuggered.
So Bounding in the Comics put an article up again, taking bits of this, but they pointed out that she said, the company has basically taken the fun out of Star Wars.
No shit!
Because it's become this machine.
They made it that way.
It's more machine than man now. It's more woman than man now. She told Vanity Fair, what I was so taken with is how much fun we were having back in the day when she worked with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg on the movies that people liked. It amounted to this moment of realization. I do think a little bit of fun has gone out of making these gigantic movies. The business, the stakes, everything that's been infused in the last 10 years or so, like the politics. There's a kind of spontaneity and good time that we have to be careful to preserve. I keep holding on to it. It better be fun.
Yeah, that's it. It's not fun. It is clearly Star Wars by committee, and it comes across. The ones that are fun are the ones when you let people when you had The Mandalorian, where they kind of we're going to try something different to get people back. And even now, they're starting on the shows that are coming after it to be tighter on it and tighter on it and tighter on it, and you're taking the fun out of that too. And it's just you're killing the fun of Star Wars.
It's the same with Marvel too. Everything is so regimented now, and Disney again they plan these movies and these shows.
Story groups have to prove everything, and they're full of shit.
Yeah, Lucas's story group was Lucas. He sat down, wrote it, and he had a couple people. He had a couple friends look over his shoulder.
And the story group are just so up their own asses. And then they have these novelists now that are working on stuff too. And it's but these are people who think it's funny to have a rock named Geode. I mean, a ship called, what was it called? The Ship or something? I forget what it was called.
Ship.
Yeah. Vessel. I'm like, go read the old books. You want to know what the fun books were like?
I just the fun book. That sounds like a good book.
The fun book? Yeah.
Fun book.
It says right in the title, fun book.
Fun book.
Not to be confused with fun bags. Something completely different.
They might be in the fun book.
Might be.
Might be a book of fun bags. Fun book of bags.
There you go.
Anyway, pretty interesting though to have the media call out that Star Wars and Marvel are declining and that Disney needs to come up with a plan B, and we know they won't. Because there is no plan.
But it's a valid point. Because we've been saying it. Brand fatigue. Iger said it. He said it after Solo and stuff like that. He was talking about how he thought maybe Marvel and Star Wars people were burning out on it and they were going to back off. And instead they ramped it up really hard, and now we're getting show after show after show. And it's people are just getting tired of it.
They are getting tired of it. So we're going to wrap it up because we're getting tired of this video.
That's right.
Tired of talking about Star Wars. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Now he's just tasty, delicious, rotten flesh meat, which I can consume. Don't read into it too much.
Just like our museum, the cafe's open and Brewster is eager to serve. I don't think this was in the show. Run, 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 run. Oh, you got splatted. Oh, she was begging and you kicked her in the face.
I don't care.
Hey guys, Squid King here, and today we're in a...
Not girl boss, not girl boss at all. She is not a material girl.
She is not. Oh, it's Christmas time here in your mom. Nobody wants to join your mom.
What?
Like I can't even cook kid cuisine right. I would last about 2 minutes with Gordon Ramsay.
What? Where is he?
He's hiding. He's hiding from you.
Better.
Oh my God, you got the axe.
Walker, does this look like Steven Universe? Let me punch him. Well, I'm just here for the wax. Right where you belong.
Get in the dirt.
Well, that was a combination of events I probably shouldn't have put together. Anyways, let's open this bottle too.
Chica Pinata. Is that official?
Oh, no.
There's a bootleg.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Diamond Tool.
Let's make a farm.
Like and subscribe and buy my merch.
I mean, while you're here, you guys should like really like and subscribe and buy our merch, all of which we have.
That is true. You can't run them carrying trash. You can get away with one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
I wish I'd known that sooner.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap this effer up.
Yes.